And I've got my lovely trusty pillow, which I love. It's a little sort of meditation pillow, and it arrives and it's quite full at first, and so you can accustom it to what you need. So I took out quite a lot of stuffing, but it's really nice, really comfy, and it's nice to just have my hips a little bit higher. And I use it quite a lot, actually. I'm surprised how much I use it. So if you do have a blanket or a cushion, just roll it up, or if you've got a cushion, place it underneath your bottom and come to a comfortable seat. And again, if this isn't comfortable, you can sit in a chair or you can come to lie down. And we're just going to spend a few moments arriving. So we are in our summer season now, the summer solstice at the weekend. And the first half of this year has been quite hard, you know. Personally, for me, it's been quite hard. I seem to have been ill and then had a calf injury and then this pandemic. But I always feel like that corner has been turned, that we're in that new sort of phase, that new normal. And it's a really good time during the summer solstice to find things that no longer serve you and let them go. So almost sort of cancel them out of your day, out of your life, and do the things that serve you. Make you feel better, maybe make you more productive, maybe make your work and relationships better. So I want you today to really focus on letting go. And whatever that means to you, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to let go of all emotions, but it could be. It could be a really emotional practice and you do let it all go, okay, and that's fine. It could be that you use the breath to let the muscles, the fascia, or your tissues and things just to relax. And it could be that slowly little things feed in to you, thinking, that doesn't serve me anymore really. Or a hang-up that you have about yourself, that we just let it go. And we go into this new season, this new pattern, with a sense of lightness and energy. And that fire and determination to be the best version of ourselves, to look after ourselves and to love ourselves. So take a couple more breaths here, just your normal breathing. And in a moment, we're going to breathe in for the count of 3, and we're going to breathe out for the count of 3. On that out count, on the exhale, you can just breathe out and use the count, or you can use the words, let it go. Okay, so there's our beat of 3 there, so we can use that. So take one more natural breath. And then we're going to start. So just breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, let it go. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, let it go. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, let it go. And just continue that for a few moments. Few more. Last round. And then just go back to your natural breathing. Let it go. From here, slowly open your eyes. You can keep yourself lifted on your pillow cushion for now. We're going to interlace our fingertips. We're going to bring our hands together, sort of by our root, by our pelvis. We're going to inhale up towards our chest. Exhale, push your hands away from you. Inhale, take the arms all the way up. Take that full stretch. Exhale, hands come back down. Bring your hands back into the middle. Interlace again. See if you can include the thumbs in the interlacer. Quite often they splay out. Just see if you can include them. Inhale, push away. Oh, I did that wrong. Inhale, coming all the way up. We'll do that again. Totally messed that up. Exhale, bring your hands all the way back down. Okay, interlace your hands. Inhale, bring your hands up to your chest. Exhale, push them away. So you have that resistance between the shoulders, that nice strong stretch here. Inhale, take the arms all the way up. Maybe bring them back slightly. Exhale, hands come down. One more time. Bring the hands into the lap. Inhale up to the chest. Exhale, push the hands away. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Take a breath here. Breathing deep. You can even lean back slightly depending on how you feel in your upper back and your lower back. Exhale, release the hands. Bring your hands all the way behind you. Interlace the hands again. Possibly bring in the heels of your hands together. So it depends if you need a bit of space. I'll just turn to the side. So if you need a bit of space, you might have the hands away from each other, still fingers interlaced, or you might bring the heels of the hand together and wrap those shoulders round. So take a breath here. Open up through the shoulders. Maybe lift the hands just slightly. Chest opener, heart opener. Inviting all that energy in. Exhale, release your hands. Bring them out in front of you. Walk your hands forward. And then just dropping your head down. Your hands can be active here, or you can bring them a bit more closer towards the body. Release the head. You can shake the head from left to right. And then slowly coming up. Okay, I've got my right foot on the inside and my left foot on the outside. You can do the same, it doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to bring my left hand down. My left arm's going to reach up towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to stretch, right hand. My right hand's then going to come all the way over towards the left side of my mat. From here, maybe turn the gaze up towards the upper arm. Take a breath. You're then going to keep your head where it is, the left arm where it is, and you're going to then float your right arm back. Feel that stretch. You can even flip the fingers of this right arm. Imagine you're trying to get the left ear towards the left shoulder. And then using this movement, you're then going to bring yourself all the way back up. Release through your hands, shake the hands off. I'm going to reverse the feet now. Right foot on the inside again. Bring your hands, we're just going to do this one more time. Bring your hands together in front of you. Inhale up towards the chest. Exhale, push away. Inhale, reach. Exhale, allow the hands to come all the way down and behind you. Maybe interlace the other way round now. With the other thumb on top, switch the hands. Works the brain a little bit. Feels very different. You can open up through the chest, lean back slightly. Exhale, release the hands. Bring the hands out in front. Walk the hands forward. Releasing through the head. Take a breath. Inhale, slowly coming back up. Right hand comes down to the earth now. Inhale, take the left arm up. And if you need to take the right hand further away, you can start to slide it away. Left hand reaches over. Really imagine that your left hip is going towards the left side and rooting down. So we're not lifting up through here, we're keeping that connection, relaxing through that right shoulder, maybe looking up towards the upper arm. And then turn your gaze back to center. Bring the right hand back down, drop your right ear to right shoulder, maybe keep those fingertips flipped up. Just feel that stretch in the left side of the neck. And then coming all the way back up. Lovely, shake off the hands, shake the feet. I'm just gonna bring my cushion out. And then from here, bring your feet out in front of you, nice and long. If you can't reach your feet, okay, you can bend your knees, or if you need to, you can have a strap around the toes. We're just gonna do a bit of movement into the hips here. So from here, if you bend your left knee or keep it straight, depends on whether you can reach this toe or not. Your right hand's going to just place on the floor next to your right hip. Reach forward, see if you can grab hold of that left foot, left toe, maybe it's the ankle, and we're going to get a bit of movement in here. So the aim is we're going to inhale, come up, maybe bend this knee. So I want you to almost think like a bow and arrow here. Exhale, allow that left leg to come down, fold forwards. So you're using the momentum here of this leg moving to bring you into the pose. So inhale here, as that leg stretches forward, you bend at the waist, folding down here. Inhale up, just a few more. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. This last one, we're going to inhale up, bend that knee in. Then see if you can just send that left foot straight now. So you're holding onto your toe, bring your right hand back behind you. Sitting up nice and tall, you can flex through that right leg. Breathing deep. Exhale, soften through that left leg first, then bring it down to the ground. Inhale, reach both hands up, take that leg. Exhale, you can bend the knees here, folding over. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. So we're bending at the waist here, that's what's bringing us over. We can rest, maybe our hands are on our shins, maybe they're by our sides, maybe you can reach your feet. Just pause, take a breath wherever you are. And then slowly rolling up. So we're going to do the same on the other side. So just notice, without judgment, if this side is different. So again, this right hand, maybe you hold on to your foot or your shin, you're just moving in this position. Maybe you can bend the knee and hold on to this left toe with your peace fingers and thumb. Wherever you are, we're going to inhale, start to lift up. Bending this knee as much as you can towards the armpit, so it's not coming into the chest, it's opening up towards the side. Exhale, start to straighten it, fold it. You can keep that knee bent if you need to, coming into that forward fold. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Inhale, open, just working into these hips. Exhale, fold. A few more. Last fold here. Then inhale, bring that knee in. Then push it away from you. So if you've got hold of your foot, you can still be here. Manage to hold on to the toe. And then open up. Left arm draws back. Take a breath. So try and make sure that we're not sort of leaning back, that we still maintain this length. It might mean that this right foot doesn't lift as high. It might be further down. Full breath here. Embrace, open up. Use that exhale to soften and let go. Bringing that right foot down to the ground. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, folding forwards, folding over the legs, coming as far forward as you can, hinging at the waist. Taking a full breath here. Lovely. Coming all the way over. Actually, no, we'll stay here for a moment. Bring your feet down to the ground. Just want to reverse it slightly. So because we've come forward and sort of compressed the hips, we just want to open up through. Sometimes we'd come into a bridge, but today let's come into a reverse table. So bring your fingertips facing towards your bottom. Feet hip width apart. You don't feel like you have to bring your feet all the way into your bottom because you end up with not a lot of space here then. So allow your feet to just be away from your body a little bit more. So further away than we would do in bridge. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, push into your hands, and as you do, you start to lift the hips up. Come up as far as you can. You can keep the head looking upwards, or feel free, you can always drop it back here. Take a breath. Exhale, coming back through center, and then lower the hips down. We're going to do it 2 more times. So from here, inhale, lifting the hips, dropping the head if you want to, come back to neutral, exhale, back down. Last time, inhale, rolling up, strong through the arms. Exhale, rolling back down. Lovely. Crossing the legs or swing them out to one side, rolling over, coming all the way over onto all fours. This all fours position. You need to pad out the knees. Do walk the knees back slightly, lower the forearms down. Palms come to touch, so just like we did last week, bringing your palms to touch. So you've always got this triangle or diamond shape between the elbows and hands, and then drop your heart, your forehead towards the floor. If you feel like you need more space, walk the knees further back and take a breath here. So stretching, breathing into the back of the body, into the shoulders. A really good pose to surrender, to tune into the breath and let it go. Take another breath. Inhale, rolling forward onto the elbows. Now what I want you to do with the elbows is you're going to cross the elbows, or they're going to be stacked in this position. So you've got one closer to your body and one further away. So it's just the movement we're going to come into just allows us to move the shoulders without having to adjust. So if you've got one arm in front and one closer to the body here, we're going to come into a bit like a forearm plank, but we've got the arms in front of us. I'm just conscious whether you can see what I'm doing. So we're in this position, and what we're going to do, we're going to roll to one side, lift the left arm up, inhale here, exhale, bring that hand back, then we're going to roll to the other side, inhale, open up here. So that's the movement we're going to do. So bringing your hands down, coming into plank, forearm plank here, strong through the body. Inhale, rolling the hips to the right, reaching up through the left hand. Exhale, coming back, roll the hips to the left. Inhale, reaching up. Roll the hips back down, switching to the other side. So move with your breath. And if it's too much in your shoulders here, you can come up onto your hands. So sometimes with the forearms down, it increases it in the shoulders. I just want you to move with a bit of fluidity in your own time. You don't rush this. Just feel the movement in the body. A few more here. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Last two. One to each side. And then coming back down, lower the knees, walk the hips back, walk the arms back. Either come into a child's pose or a puppy posture and just relax through those shoulders. Breathing into the lower back, allowing your back to round here. Full conscious breaths. Notice those sensations in the body. Maybe you're aware of your shoulders and your tummy. Lots of work going on, creating that prana, that energy that we need in the body. And sometimes we just have to fire it up a little bit, just to allow the things that we don't need to break away and to let go through the body. Full breath. Inhale, peeling yourself up. Curl your toes under. From here, we're going to go into our cat and cow movement. We're going to move the feet with it. So from here, you're going to round through into cat with the toes curled under. And then inhale, dropping the top of the feet and coming into our cat. Exhale, rounding through, toes curled under. Inhale, coming through. So we've done this before, but we've done it the other way with the feet. So it's interesting just to see how this feels. We are going to switch it in a moment. Top of the feet on the inhale. Exhale, rounding through. Keeping your toes curled under from here. Inhale into your cow. Exhale, top of the feet now, rounding through the body. Inhale into cow. Exhale, top of the feet, rounding through. So decide which one you prefer. And then from here, we're going to do 5 more with your breath. So you can choose just getting some movement in the lower legs, whichever works for you. And the next time your toes are curled under, keep them curled under. Then drop the chin into the chest, round through the spine. Peel those hips up, coming into our down dog. Take a moment here, pedal through the feet. Really inviting that breath in. That ocean breath. Ujjayi. Breathe in. Breathing out. Resting the heels towards the floor again, they don't have to touch. Looking forward, just bend the knees, and I want you to step your left foot forward. If you need to lower your right knee down, you can to do that, but then we're all going to lower the right knee anyway, coming onto the top of the foot. From here, really drop your hips down. So allow your hips to really sink. You can even walk that foot further forward if you want to. Take a breath. You can bring the palms to the floor. If you need more space, being on the fingertips. But you're really allowing these hips to sink down, stretching into the right hip flexor. You can have a bit of movement here. But maybe bending that right foot. Bring that left hand behind to hold on to that right foot. Inhale, open up through your chest. Keeping the right hand on the floor. Just a small stretch here. Take another breath. Exhale, release. Left hand comes down. Stepping the right foot up and in just a little bit, coming into this pyramid pose. Inhale, open up through the chest. Exhale, folding over that front leg. Just warming up through these legs. Take another breath. Keeping the right foot where it is. Just see if you can bend into this left leg, then send the left leg up behind you. So it's a bit like a three-legged dog, but the stance is shorter. Take a breath here. Maybe your palms can be flat on the floor. Maybe you can straighten through that right leg. And then exhale, bring the left leg. See if you can keep it straight. So you're moving through these hips. Bring that left leg down to the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the knees down. Walk the knees back just a little bit. Inhale, open up through the chest. Exhale, rounding through. Curl the toes under. Inhale into cow. Exhale, peel yourself up into our downward dog. Take a breath. Breathing deep. Bringing that navel towards the spine. It's almost drawing this lower belly in. Releasing the head. One more breath. Slowly lifting that right leg up. Bend the knees. Step this right foot forward. In between the hands. Then lower that left knee down. If you need a bit more space, you can. And then drop this left hip towards the floor. So you're really allowing these hips to sink. Take a few breaths here. One to the top of that back foot. So you can do a bit of sort of investigation here. If you come onto the toes, you'll notice the stretch isn't as strong in this left front of the left thigh. If you then bring the top of that back foot down and push in with that back foot when you're dropping these hips, you can really feel that stretch all the way through the psoas muscle into the groin, into that inner thigh. Take another breath. From here, bring your hands down, curl the left toes under again, step the left foot in just a little bit, okay, and then folding over this right leg, so coming into this pyramid pose. Take up space here. Exhale. Breathing into this right leg, into the right hip. And then from here, bending the front knee slightly, bring your hands down to the ground. See if you can bring this right leg all the way back through and back up. So you're coming into this almost like a standing splits or three-legged dog. Take a full breath. Exhale, bring this right foot back down, but see if you can imagine that you're trying to push that right foot into a wall. So your foot is flexed, you're trying to keep that leg straight, adjusting through the hips. Bring the right foot down to the ground. Walk your hands back, bend through your knees, forward fold. So it's just getting a bit more hip movement here, and sometimes just by shifting the weight slightly, we're able to bring that left leg through, or that straight leg through, whichever side. You can rock the hips from side to side. Hands come to the top of the feet. Inhale, tuck the chin slowly, rolling all the way up. Take a moment here, shaking through the legs, through the arms. And then we're going to come into a bit of a balance, but also a bit of a stretch. So from here, have your feet hip width apart. And then we're going to bend into the knees, shift your weight to the right side, lift this left leg and cross it over. So maybe you come to this position, okay? This might be enough for you. You might really start to feel it in the hips here. If you want a bit more, make sure you're flexing through this cross leg, so through this left foot, flexing through the toes. Activate. You can sink the hips down a little bit further. Full breath. And if you want to, you can start to lean forward. Maybe the hands come down to the ground. So just arrive here. Maybe if the hands come down to the ground, you can start to fold over this leg. This is also the beginning of an arm balance, okay, which isn't always easy to do at all. But if you wanted to have a play, so from here you would lean forward slightly, flexing through the feet. this left knee that is sort of in line with this upper left arm, you could bring your hands down, leaning forwards, shift the weight, and come into an arm balance. Okay, there's lots to work on there, but that's just a bit of a play. You can stretch both legs out. There's a lot more that you can do, but for me, I just love this stretch. I can really feel it in the back of the leg. And then the trick is to drive down through that right heel, flexing through the toes of that left foot, just so you're looking after that knee. Bring your hands back to your chest if you're in this forward fold. Pause here, strong. Inhale, lifting all the way back up. Take a breath before we release. Exhale, release left foot down. Shake off that right leg. So it's amazing how much effort this right standing leg has to do. Take a breath. Let's take our arms out left to right. Just take full body stretch. Inhale. And let's just release with a forward fold. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forwards. Soften through your knees. Inhale, hands come left to right. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay, shifting the weight over to the left side. Start to bend the knees. Lift that right foot. Peel it off and then slowly cross it over. Flex through the right toes here. This again could be enough. And maybe you play with just working here, standing and bending. You need to hold on to the wall, you can do. Again, if you want to take it a bit further, you can start to really squat down through this left leg. Open up through the chest. Maybe you bring the arms out to the side. So it's your choice. You can be wherever. You can cactus the arms, the hands can be at your heart, they can be on your hips. Maybe you start to fold forward a bit more, bring the hands down to the earth. So for me, this side is so tight in this right leg, definitely to do with my right calf. So I know that if I start to bend and bring my hands down, it's too much. It really pulls in my right hip, in my right glute. So there's no way I could even bring my hands down to start trying to do this balance with the arms. So if you want to, come back to what we did at the beginning. Hands come down, you start to bend, you bend the elbows, and you rest your right knee on the upper right arm. For me, it's all about the hinza, that non-violence. And I could push it if I want, but I think I'll be paying for it for a little while. So I'd rather just be here. The stretch is awesome in that hip. Take a few breaths. Maybe just, if your hands are on the floor, just lift them up for a moment, really focusing on this balance. Start to lift up through your chest, so you're coming halfway again. Tucking that tailbone under slightly, strong pose. What can you do in this pose where you can possibly do less, but the reaction, the feeling is more? Inhale, start to lift up, straightening through the legs. Take a moment, then release the right foot to the floor. Shake off the legs, shake off the arms. Lovely. We're going to come to the wide side of our mat. Just take a moment to arrive here first of all. My feet are parallel at the moment. Close your eyes. So your hands can rest on your hips or just on your thighs. Just take a moment here. How do you feel? Maybe you can still feel these sensations in the hips and the thighs. Find your breath. Always good to just pause and reset. Inhale, you can open your eyes, take your arms almost at 45 degrees. So you're really starting to open up through your shoulders. So they haven't come all the way up, they're just above the shoulders. Open up through your chest, maybe lean back. Pause here, take a breath. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up. Exhale, send your hands all the way back down by your side. From here, turn the heels in, the toes out, maybe take up a bit more space. Roll the shoulders back. Concentrating on this root, this solar plexus area. We're just going to drop the hips down, coming into a goddess pose with our legs, so the hands can be just resting here, resting on our tummy, or maybe in prayer, wherever you are. And you can start to get a little bit of a sway from side to side. So instead of sort of coming up out of it, which you can do, you can just get a bit of movement into those hips. You can keep your hips low, and you're just doing this movement. Careful not to come all the way over that. You're really bringing that knee over the toes. Okay, we don't want that, just to look after the knees. Notice if you're leaning forwards here, can you tuck the tailbone under slightly and be here? So your thighs might already be talking to you. When we actually start to get a bit of movement, it's almost like there's something else to concentrate on, so it's not as bad. There's not that sort of that grip. But I want you to come back to center. Maybe sink the hips down a little bit more. Roll those shoulders back. Take a breath. Strong. Maybe sink a little bit more. Take a breath. Inhale, rolling up, almost roll through your spine, straighten through the legs, and then as you do, roll those shoulders open. Take a pause, take a breath, soften through those knees. Inhale, take the arms out left to right at shoulder height, bend into the elbows so we cactus the arms. Exhale, sink those hips down. Just pause here, dropping that tailbone under. Come as low as you can. Maybe bring the hands back slightly and the elbows forward. So you're really starting to activate those shoulders, relaxing through the neck. One more breath. Conscious, maybe on that exhale, sink a little bit lower just for a pause. Inhale, reaching up, straighten through the legs. Exhale, release the hands. You can shake the hands off. Turn the toes in. Open up through, sorry, don't turn the toes right in. Just bring the feet parallel. Open up through the chest. Full breath. Exhale, hinging at the waist. Folding forwards. Pause halfway. Notice how this is. And then allow your arms to drop. But instead of just allowing the shoulders to sort of fall out, okay, dropping out, I want you to almost have a little bit of lift. So it's like you're pulling your shoulders back slightly, okay? So I'm going to show you from the side. So in this position, if you were to just allow your shoulders to be there, it'd be here. But if you activate and roll your shoulders back, creating space, there's quite a bit of movement in here. Okay, so we're going to come into that position. So roll those shoulders back. Maybe your hands are on the floor, maybe they're on the shins, wherever they are. This creates this openness through the chest, inviting that energy and abundance. And again, being in these forward folds allows our body to know that we are safe. We're not in that fight or flight mode. So we can relax, the nervous system can start to calm down, the cortisol levels, the stress hormone starts to reduce, and we can just be here with the breath. 3 more breaths here. Inhale, slowly roll up onto fingertips. Again, roll the shoulders back, so maybe the hands are hovering here. And if the hands are hovering, just have that awareness through the core, navel draws back, and then slowly inhale, rolling all the way up. Lovely. From here, we're going to come down onto our knees, so you can bring the feet together and then come down onto the knees. We're going to send the left foot out. So lots of work into these hips today, but in a conscious way. So bring your hands together at your heart. So I'm kneeling with my right foot behind me, my left foot's out. So sometimes with this left leg that's out straight to the side, sometimes we have the toes facing the same direction as the body, and then the aim is to roll that hip open. See how that feels in the body, okay? Certain times of the day, certain days this feels great. Sometimes for me, it's better to turn my toes out slightly, so they're not at a right angle to my leg, that I can just turn them out a little bit, and it just allows me to have a bit more space and my knee feels better. So have a play with how that left foot is positioned. The aim is that you're trying to sort of get the sole of that foot onto the ground. Okay, so just have a play there for a moment. Find your foundation. Hands at your heart. Open up through your chest. So we're going to revert, we're going to take it one way first and then the other. So bring your left hand down to your left thigh. Just allow that left hand to go down as you reach the right arm up. So you should really start to feel this in the right hip. Coming into our gate pose. So if your hand traces down and you end up on this on your knee, make sure you're not pushing against that knee. Okay, and wherever you are, just have that full awareness. The awareness of the top of that right foot, the sole of the left. Find a breath. You can gaze towards the right arm or out in front. Take one more breath here, and then we're almost going to windmill, cartwheel the hands all the way to the other side. So you come all the way up. Right hand comes down to the floor. The legs stay where they are. Reach with the left hand. And then maybe you can bring the palm to the floor. If not, stay on the fingertips. Reaching that left arm up and over. Feel free, if you need to pad out the knees, do. You can then open up your chest by looking up towards this upper arm. Full body awareness here. One more breath. Inhale, come back up, tap into this core strength to bring you back up. Again, if you need to pad out this right knee, do. We're here just for 3 more moves. So from here, I want you to open up through your chest, through your body. Bring your hands up at shoulder height. We're going to inhale here, and on an exhale, we're going to start to fold forwards, and our hips start to come back slightly. So we inhale here, exhale slowly. Gazing down, arms stay where they are, hips start to sink back. Okay, sometimes this is called a floating bird, flying bird. Okay, take another breath here. Inhale, rolling up. Activate through the legs. It's the legs and the core that brings us back up. 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, fold. Really allow that exhale to bring you down. As we fold here, that breath is then able to be expelled out through the body because we're contracting through the tummy. Inhale, rising back up. Those arms are probably feeling it now. Take a breath. On your next exhale, last time, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Shake off the arms. Bring this left leg in. If you need to adjust, if you then need to go and get a pillow or a blanket for this left knee, then do. We're going to go on to the other side. So again, this right leg comes out now. Take a moment to find a position that works. Remembering that both sides can be very different, okay? And then from here, once you arrive here, activate through those feet. Okay, so the top of that left foot, the sole of the right hand comes down to the thigh. And as you start to take the right hand away from the body, you start to take the left hand up and then start to fold. Just go as far. We don't have to do anything, not forcing anything. Just listen to the body. Maybe that exhale can take you a bit further, maybe not. Maybe you're here and you find a way to do less in this pose. One more breath here. And then we're going to transition to tap into the tummy, all these muscles. Inhale slowly, rolling yourself up. Left hand comes down to the floor, reaching that right hand up and then over. Again, take a breath here. Maybe spiraling that right arm back slightly in the chest, open towards the ceiling. Notice how that feels in the hips and the lower back. So if it's too much, bring it back down. It's full body awareness. One more breath here. Inhale, tap into those muscles. See if you can just use it slowly to bring yourself up and back. Shake off the arms slightly, keep the legs where they are. Again, coming into this floating bird. Inhale, arms up at shoulder height, palms facing forward, navel draws in. Exhale, the hips sink back slightly as you fold forwards. Almost like you're folding your tummy over this left leg. See how far you can come down. Maybe you can come all the way down. Inhale, roll yourself back up. And again, exhale, rolling down. Inhale, rolling yourself back up. So feel that movement in the spine. Last time. Inhale and then exhale to fold. Inhale, rolling up through. Open up through the chest, lean back. Exhale, hands come to heart. Bring that right knee in. Shimmy all the way down onto your bottom. Feet come out. And then just come onto your back, bring your knees into your chest. And just take a moment here. So notice, can you feel your breath? You can start to create some circles with the knees. Then we're going to come into this sort of cobbler's pose. It's a little bit different, okay? We're going to activate through our core and our thighs, like in the hips. So we've been doing quite a lot of work on these hips. So just do some circles with your knees a moment. You can separate the knees and bring them back together, or you can just circle the knees. And then bring your feet down to the ground. Allow your knees to start to open up so the soles of your feet touch. So coming into this sort of cobbler's pose. Again, you don't have to worry about really allowing the legs to sink down. What I want you to do is take your arms behind you, okay? So we're going to start to roll up, keeping the legs exactly where they are. You might not come all the way, but just see. So from here, you'd inhale, maybe you're just here, exhale back down. Inhale, maybe you can come up, exhale, rolling down. Sorry, inhale, arms up, exhale, driving up to this seat. So we're keeping the legs wide. If that's too much, you can have your hands here, and you can just be moving with the breath, taking some little pulses. Tapping into the tummy, tapping into these thigh muscles. Using the breath. Inhale to roll down, open up. Exhale to lift. So movement through the spine, movement into the body. Last two. Last one. And then come all the way back, reach back with your hands. Keep your feet together, knees wide. We're just going to take a few breaths here in our cobbler's pose. The hands can be down by your side now. Take a breath. Got two more things before we come to our relaxation. So from here, bring the knees in together, then lift the knees, and then you're going to separate the knees again, just like we have just done with our feet almost together. So your soles of your feet aren't going to come together with your knees up, but the big toe edge of your feet will be touching. Okay, bring your hands down by your side. We're keeping the knees lifted. From here, we're going to inhale, open up the legs, so the knees are just coming out to the side. Exhale, bring the knees in. So good for the hips. Inhale, open. Exhaling, moving slow. So the knees are lifted, feet are lifted. Inhale, open. Exhale, knees together. Inhale, open. Exhale, together. So you might be feeling this in your inner thighs, okay? So not only are we building strength here, we're also building this movement in through our hips. You can even place your hands on your hips where your legs join your pelvis and just feel this rotation. So keep moving with the breath. You can probably really feel it in the thighs. We've got a few more here. Moving slow, moving with the breath. Three more. Last one. Inhale, open. Exhale, knees together. Keep the knees together. Hands come out to the side. Inhale here. Exhale, allow your knees to roll all the way over to the right side. And then rest. Allow your head to turn to the left and just take a few breaths here. Really notice how this feels. Is there ways that you can do less? Using that exhale to let it go. We're going to inhale, bring the knees back up through center. And exhale, just switch, allow the knees to go to the other side. Oh, that's a good click in my back there. Head turns towards the right. Take a breath. Allow your body to surrender into the pose. Just soften through the hands, through the face, through the hips, breathing into the belly. Come back through center. And then you can hug the knees in towards the chest. And then either bring your hands on the inside of the legs and hold the outside of the feet with the knees bent, or you can bring the hands on the inside of the feet. So it's entirely up to you. So you can flip the palms, the hands, so the fingers are facing in towards the midline of your body, or you can take the hands the other way. So it's entirely up to you, coming into this happy baby pose or spirit posture, and just arrive here. Allow the knees to sink, soles of the feet up towards the ceiling, lengthening through the whole of your back. So if you can feel your tailbone is lifted, see if you can root that tailbone back down so you can feel your lower back, middle back, and your upper back on the floor. Take another breath. Release one leg, release the other, bring the feet down to the floor and come into a brief shavasana. So if you want to keep the knees bent, you can, or maybe you take up space Reaching the feet out long, left to right, palms facing up. Use your breath to settle, to arrive. Feel free if you want to go back to that breathing that we did at the beginning. Or you count in for 3 and out for 3, or in for 3. And repeating the words, let it go on the out breath. Keep breathing. Maybe think of one thing that perhaps you need to let go of. Again, that can be a personal hang-up that sometimes we have. It can be something from the past that we keep going over, mulling over. Could have been done this way, could have been done that way. There's not a lot we can do about the past. It is what it is. But we can change now. We can change the future. So what do you have planned for the next 6 months? The rest of 2020. It could be you just maintain your commitment that you have to your yoga practice. It could be that you decide that you're going to read a book every week. You know, if you read a book every week, that's 26 books that you could read before Christmas. A lot of reading, a lot of knowledge. So there's things that we can put in place to maybe enhance our lives for the next 6 months. So what can you do?